Hey, welcome back. We are back. This is Queens Talking Reality. We about to get into it. I am Elisa, and this is
Sarah.
yes, and you know this was a juicy episode. Married to Medicine, season 11, episode 11. This was called The Calm After the Storm because you know the storm was when I think Quad was provoking in that episode, and Greg spazzed out. Sweet Tea spazzed out, but let's get into it. Let's just jump right into it because this was a great episode. And it starts out with Toya and wait, she's taking out I forgot that the
Toya,
new
and I'm looking at my notes. So it's Toya, Eugene, and a new couple. What's the new couple's name? I don't know their names. I just know the ex-folk. She's not relevant. Honestly, they didn't need them on this show. She doesn't bring anything to the table. So it's Toya, the new couple, the ex-football player, and she's a psychiatrist, a psychologist, whatever she is. Why are they on the show?
I don't know. Do you think they're gonna come back? I don't know about them coming
No.
back in the show.
No. I actually like the old couple that they had last season.
Mm-hmm.
Was a doctor. I think her husband was a doctor. She was dark skinned. She was very pretty.
Yeah.
I remember, but they need to go. They're not yet anyway. And they've been like 2 to 3 episodes now. They need to bring something. They need to go.
I feel like a lot of times the editors don't give them a chance because they don't really give them a good scene. Like it's like the only time we see them was during that scene where they talking about like, yeah, Toya, you ignited the fight or whatever, and you drinking Patron, and that was the only part you really see of them. Like you don't really see who they are as a person. I don't know. I need more from them to see if they can stay or not.
I disagree. She had plenty of times to make a scene. Number one, she was there when Qual wild out. You're the psychologist. You should have diffuse the situation or be like crying along and it would have went back and forth. That would have been the scene.
Yeah.
Another episode where she was at another event. Oh, the event when they had the dating. That was another event when they had that blind dating, whatever. That was a scene for you to kind of get involved with Quad or Heavenly shut her down and she said nothing. So no. And I think they shot plenty of scenes, and these are probably the most interesting scenes that they've been in.
So you don't want the new couple back?
No. I'm not interested. Okay. He's good at eye candy. He's good at eye candy because, again, the husbands are married to Medicine, including Daddy Heavenly. They're not, I don't call them eye candy. So right now it's King and him. So bring him back for the ladies for eye candy. But other than that, they shouldn't be back. No.
Yeah.
What do you think? Irrelevant.
Yes, we're talking about the new couple, the basketball player and whatever her name is, the therapist. We don't even know their names. But anyway, the scene goes into Toya and them. They going out to for, I guess, day drinks or something. And they feel like Toya started the fight between Quad and Dr. G. Do you think she ignited the fight, Toya?
I don't think she did. And my opinion is, like she said, she felt uncomfortable. That it would have happened regardless, I think, whether Toya said anything. She was just telling Quad, like, yo, chill. You making this uncomfortable because Dr. G's right there. Honestly, if I was there, which I think the men didn't say anything. I don't think she said anything wrong. She was just like, look, you are saying all this stuff and Dr. G is sitting right there. This is uncomfortable. Yeah. What did she say? If I was there, I probably would have said the same thing. She didn't say anything or egged Quad on. Quad did this all on her own. And even if Toya didn't say anything, it would have went the way it went. So it wasn't Toya's fault, for being honest, and saying she's uncomfortable. If I'm in a situation I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to let people look. This is very uncomfortable. Maybe she said Dr. G sitting right there. She could have been like, well, this is uncomfortable. Regardless, it was uncomfortable. She said it. And Quad started the whole thing. Toya had nothing to do with it.
I think Toya said what everyone was thinking, because it was just going too far and it was starting getting too uncomfortable. Like if Toya had not said, it would have ignited regardless. I think Quad would have kept going and going and going. It's just that it ignited probably sooner when Toya did say that. I don't know, but Quad would have just kept going. To me, she was provoking the situation. So anyway, they had a little laugh when they was at the table with the, Toya, Eugene, and then the new couple. And then yeah, like she said, it was uncomfortable. So then that was a boring scene, like I have here. And then the scene is with Greg and then Sweet Tea talking about like what happened. And Greg did apologize in that scene for him getting out of control. So I do feel like I appreciated Greg apologizing in that scene and us seeing his apology, because I do think he was being unreasonable to expect Sweet Tea not to react, but then he gets to react, you get to react, and I'm trying to protect you, and I'm not supposed to be reacting. I'm human. But the only thing I didn't like about Greg's apology is he said like, but like, I apologize, but I'm not gonna apologize for how, like, listen, he said something about I'm not gonna apologize for how I feel or what I said or whatever he said. I just don't like apologies with a but. Just apologize and let's keep it moving. Like, you sorry and let's keep it moving. Don't but me, because then you kind of like giving me a half-ass apology.
Well, I did appreciate and them showing that he apologized, because after we did our show, I did look at Heavenly's YouTube channel, and she said that he went off, like saying shut the F up, and really went off on Sweet Tea. It wasn't what we saw. He was really went off on her. I'm happy that he apologized. He acknowledged that he did go overboard. I understand where he was saying don't give Quad attention, just don't pay any attention. But again, if somebody's coming after me, I'm coming after you. So I do like Sweet Tea in that aspect. Like, I'm not gonna be a punk, because if she didn't say nothing, you know what it was gonna be said. Oh, she's a punk. She can't stand up to Quad. She's scared of Quad. The butt, I don't remember exactly what he said the butt was, but he reacted too.
Exactly.
He was the first one to react. So you can't, like Sweet Tea say, you can't tell me not to react, but then you react. If you react, I'm able to react too. The whole point is I'm happy he was able to acknowledge that he was wrong. I was happy that he apologized on camera. Then he made it seem like it was an age difference. Oh, because there's a huge big age difference. To some aspect I agree, because as we get older, we like whatever. At 40 something, I'm like, oh, whatever, I'm not paying this person mind. And we're not as hot-headed. But I don't care what age I am. If you're coming at me and disrespecting me, I'm going to come back for you. So it wasn't too much of an age thing. Quad was antagonizing him, and then she went for Sweet Tea because there were certain things we did not see. Let's not forget, the producers are showing what they want us to see. So from what Heavenly said, she said something like, "Oh, you want to be me?" Either she said it on when we were watching it or after. But she said a lot of things to where Sweet Tea had to respond.
Absolutely.
So I agree with Sweet. I'm not a big Sweet Tea fan. I'm liking her a little bit more than I did originally in the beginning. But I had to say, she stood on business. She's not scared of Quad or Heavenly, and told her exactly how she felt. Now, what I don't like is her going on social media and talking about Quad is jealous of her. Honey, Quad is not jealous of you. I don't think anybody there is jealous of you. So that's the only thing I don't like. That
I don't know. I get what she's saying. I don't think she articulates herself in a way, but I do think there is some type of jealousy there with Quad, not of her, but of the situation. I do believe that she does. I think she feels a way like that she's in her position. She's on the show, and that she got her ex, who's a doctor. I feel like she did have that position. I feel like, I don't know if it is considered jealousy. Maybe that's not the right word, but I do feel like Quad wants them to be bothered, and they're not. Like, they're not reacting to her. And I feel like not even just Quad, all of them on the show feel like Dr. G and Sweet Tea should be bothered. It's almost like they're even putting it on them. Yeah, they are so bothered. He wants her so bad. I don't see no indication where Greg has actually acted like he wanted Quad. I actually think it's the other way around, where Quad is acting like she kind of may still want him or something, because she wants his attention. She's like begging for his attention, want him to react. You asking for neck hugs. You telling him you're gonna throw him a baby shower. You telling him over and over how happy you are for him. He got a good wife. Like, he just did too much. And to me, when you do too much and then you go overboard, where you like saying you got to swing it in a circle and all of that. Like, to me, it's like you're begging for his attention. So something is there. I don't know if it's considered jealousy. I don't know what that is, but she wants him to be bothered, and he's not giving her that attention she's looking for.
So I don't think Quad is jealous of the relationship, because remember, she didn't want to be with him. She wasn't having sex with the man for 3 years. She left him. I think she seeks attention. When someone does you wrong in a marriage, I mean, I think there's some point she did love the man, and he did you wrong, you leave, you most likely, she probably doesn't want him to be happy. She wants to be the person who's happy. She wants to be the first person to be happy. She wants to gloat in his face, and she wants Sweet Tea to kind of feel like, oh my God, I'm not this woman. She's up here and I'm there. I think it's more attention seeking more than jealousy. And the fact that I couldn't, and as a wife, you know, you feel like, oh, I want to try to make my husband happy. Maybe she tried. Maybe he just wasn't happy with whatever. And here comes this woman and he has a glow up. Maybe he doesn't have a glow up with Sweet in a relationship, but Dr. G, let's not lie. Individually, he has a glow up. He looks better than when he was with Clyde. He lost weight.
Yeah.
He's dressing nicer. His skin is clear. He was able to do 25 push-ups at his age.
He looks happier.
He looks happier. He looks better. If Quad spoke to him or decided to pursue a relationship to marry him when he looked not as good, she would have talked to him now, if anything. So when you look, you'd be like, damn, I left my man, my ex-husband. He looked better now. It might make you think, well, damn, was it me? Because he's willing to change or did change for this woman. So I don't think it's more jealousy. Well, then that could play a little factor. But I think it's more that attention. Like, oh, you wasn't a good husband. I left you. I want you to be still wanting me. I still want you to be bad. So that's what it is. I think it's more that than jealous. And he's unbothered. Like, I have this good looking man.
Yes.
I praise him so much. And then he doesn't give a damn. It's kind of like, damn, he don't give a damn. He must really be happy.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. She wants him to be bothered. And to me, he's being unbothered. But everybody keeps acting like, yeah, he still wants, like Heavenly. Yeah, he still wants Quad. It's like they expect him to still want it. Because I don't think they look, they don't hold Sweet Tea in high regard. Like, they don't feel like she's all of that. They think she's a little, like, you know, homely young chick. Country bumpkin. So I just feel like they're like, there's absolutely no way that he doesn't still want Quad because of who he's with. But he really is happy with Sweet Tea. Like, he really is, and he is unbothered. So that leads us to the next scene when Quad is talking to King in the room. To me, she is completely delusional in that scene. And she's, again, like I just said, like we were just saying, she's saying how, yeah, Dr. G, look at how he was talking to her and how he was talking to me. It's almost like he's mad. He's not with me. He's still like, he's heartbroken, like, over me. And I was like, girl. And even King not holding her accountable for nothing. Even if you think Greg is wrong, she played, even if you don't think she played a 50% role, 10% role, she played, even if it's a 1% role, you should still hold her accountable. And he did nothing, which shows me, I don't know, in the scene we'll talk about later, but to me, I think he got some immaturity with him.
So from what I know, King is young. I think he just celebrated his 30th birthday.
Oh, he's that young?
She had a birthday party for him. He's not 35.
I thought he was older than, I thought he was maybe in his late mid-30s. 30.
Let's Google how old this is. I think she celebrated his 30th birthday or something. He's young. If you have time for his age, he's not that old.
Mm-hmm.
Quad is in her 40s. I think Quad might be 40 something, mid 40s, late.
Yeah. 40s. Exactly. I know she's older, so
I like King based on what Quad has been saying about him. Because we don't really know much about King. I'm going by the stuff she's glorifying about this man, which makes me seem to
They say he's 41.
He's 41? Okay.
That's what it said. Quad was treated to a lavish birthday party courtesy of King.
Oh, he's 40? Oh, I thought he was.
They saying 41 here. I'm thinking, are they talking about her? They saying he's 41.
And how old is she?
Well, he was born in 1980. Wait, no, Quad was born in 1980.
How old is he? I could have sworn the man was way younger.
Maybe she. What would if she was born in 1980? What would that mean? She's like 46 or something.
Girl, I'm not good at the math. Well, 45, I think. Well, the whole point is
he's 41 because it said he turned 40.
Oh, she celebrated his 40th birthday then.
Yeah, because it said King turned 40 in October, so he's gonna be 41 this year.
And she's like 45. Well, he acted like he was in his 30s, meaning he did well. Then there's not that big of an age gap. He's the way Quad is. They make it seem he's a younger man. He ain't that much younger than her. They're young by what, 4 years.
Yeah,
he's not. I thought he was way younger. I mean, he do look like his 40s. He, unless he checked her off camera and didn't want to make a scene, he did not check her on camera. Did not hold Quad responsible for her reaction. Did not question why. If you play this back, and a lot of times when things are happening in the moment, people don't realize it until they watch it back.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a man, or if I was a woman, I am a woman. Let's be clear. Not if I was a woman. I am full woman, born woman, raised woman, always woman. Let's get that. As a woman, I have a boyfriend who has ex-wife. I have ex-husband. If I'm at a party or a situation and my boyfriend's ex-wife is there with a new man, and you're so bothered and you're doing way too much, I'm going to question after and hold you accountable. Like, you started this whole shit. Why did you mention about paying the baby shower? Why did you mention roll, whatever she said, swing on it, twirling
throwing it in a circle?
Why would you make those sexual comments? Why? That would be my question. Why are you talking about why? Oh, I boy should have a baby. I'll pay for them. I would question him and hold him accountable because, again, Dr. G did not introduce himself. They were on the trip for, I'm assuming, 1 or 2 days. He didn't say nothing to them. He didn't start any trauma all season. My question will be why, and I will start wondering what issues or unresolved issues or feelings do you have for that individual?
Yes, me too. I would have told her, like, first of all, let's when we around the others, maybe when we together, you can drink all you want, but when we outside, you gotta hold it to a limit. You can't go over a couple of drinks. I would have to tell her because she had way too much to drink. I think that was part of the problem too. She is bothered and she had way too much to drink, which makes it like her become uninhibited.
Correct. Which Dr. G said, I know how she is when she gets drunk. So I would hold the person with accountable and be like, look, you started this whole mess.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. So hi, Joanne. I would say you start the whole mess and hold that person fully accountable.
Yeah.
I would.
And he didn't. And that was the scene where they was just going on and on about how Dr. G wants her. He was bothered. King should have cursed him out because if he was talking to Quad, he would have cursed him out, but he wasn't talking to Quad. He was talking to his own wife. So he's lucky. And then that was that.
Yeah, he said, oh, if she told you shut the F up, it would have been a different issue.
And I guess it was later on in the scene. Mm-hmm. So now we're moving on to the next scene, which was the boat ride. Apollo is arriving surprisingly with his wife. Sherrein is her name. And I guess she wasn't supposed to come. I don't know why it was such a big deal when Heavenly was like, oh my God, I didn't think she was supposed to come. Like, why wouldn't it? I mean, I guess he did say to Heavenly that she wasn't coming, but why was it more of a big deal that she came? Like, why were they okay, it's a safe because he's going to be by himself? And it was like they was like more surprised because she came. Like, why she should come?
Well, I think one day if I'd Apollo thinking Phaedra was gonna come by herself because the last couple trip she came by herself. They didn't know she was gonna bring a date, so that was another thing. Which I think we'll talk more about it. I think they were setting Phaedra up. That was one. 2, he said he wasn't bringing anyone, which I would have been more concerned him not bringing anyone with Phaedra having a date. Then she actually showed up, which I think maybe for Heavenly knew, unless Apollo wanted a scene. Whatever happened, she eventually decided to show up. But they made a whole big deal that he came with her. And I think the reason why it was such a big deal, which they knew in the beginning they were coming, I think is because they know there's tension between Phaedra and that woman. because I didn't realize that was the mistress.
Me too. I did not know she was originally the side chick who became the now wife.
I didn't know
And
that.
now they on the same boat with the ex-wife and the used to be side chick who's now not the side chick, who's now the wife. And you could see there was a little tension. Like they were saying hi, hugging everybody, because everybody seemed to know everybody, including Phaedra's man. Everybody knew her man too. And you could see when it went to like her acknowledging Phaedra and Phaedra acknowledging her, it was like, yeah, we know each other. Mm-hmm.
So they knew, even though there wasn't possibly a tension between Apollo and Phaedra, they knew there would have been a tension between Phaedra and the woman. She's the mistress. She's always going to be the mistress. You're never going to like the mistress. I don't care how great she is with your kids, whatever. You're never going to like the mistress, because that's the person who took your husband at the time. That is a person who threw it in your face. Not only that, they showed a scene where she was an Atlanta housewife and made it clear where Phaedra's never home. She's never around.
She didn't take care of him, and I am here to take care of him.
So that makes you automatically feel inferior. This is not someone you broke up with your husband and then came along. This is someone who your husband allowed to be taken.
Absolutely. You disrespected me. And now you on this boat trip with my people. So it was like already tension was brewing. Huh?
And getting money. They didn't come on that trip for free. I'm for sure they paid Apollo and probably the wife to come on this episode.
Yeah, and you getting notoriety, like you getting seen. So that right there is some type of like, I would have wore something like a brand or something that I'm into, my company name, but whatever. But it's like now you get to show whatever you got going on, whether it's you, yourself, your business, whatever. So that's an opportunity in itself, even if they're not getting paid. But yes, so he showed up.
She's not a bad look woman. She's attractive. So that lets me know, also let you know, my ex-husband wanted her more than me.
Mm-hmm. And so then
self-esteem went from here to here in that moment when she walked in. I don't care how Phaedra felt confident, all that stuff. Once she saw that wife on that scene, her self-esteem went real low.
I don't know. I would think you would be over that. I don't know if her self-esteem went low.
You're not gonna be over it. I mean,
I think you're gonna be over it. I don't think you. No. I think you're not gonna be over it. But of course, yeah, I am still gonna like hate her to the day, like to the end of days. I'm still gonna not like her. But I don't know if my self-esteem would be affected. I would just be like, I don't even want to be like, I don't even want her breathing the same air as me. I don't want coming too close to me. Don't think I'm gonna engage with you. Stay over there, and I'm gonna stay over here. That's how it would be. But I wouldn't feel like insecure.
But Phaedra, let's be clear. Phaedra has done a 360 since she's left Apollo. Phaedra was the womanly Southern belle, going to church and putting handkerchief over her legs. Or now she's starting in surgery here, out booty shots here. That to me lets me know there's something going on here that you feel you are inadequate to these video vixens, and you're trying to be something that you're originally not, or you were, and now you're.
Yeah, you got a point.
Do you remember when she went on Instagram? We always, even with Portia. Do you remember when she went to Africa, got clothes and this, and just selling herself on Instagram? Ass, mind you, you got 2 sons, so all of the outfits she's wearing, I think, not all, majority of the outfits are again inappropriate for Married to Medicine. Leave that for Atlanta housewife. So once she stepped in, maybe you didn't feel like, oh, I look bad, but you are affected. The woman has a body. From what I see, she's not fat, she's not ugly. Your man left you for her.
Yeah.
And if you were doing surgery when you were with him, it wasn't good enough to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever confidence you have, whether it's at 100, it went down to at least 90 or lower.
Okay. True.
Thank you very much.
And then in the next, well, it was the same scene. Apollo greets the Phaedra's boy toy,
Shaq. From what they were saying,
Shaq.
Shaq. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so which lets us and everyone else know on the boat that they actually know each other. They've been acquainted. They are actually homeboys. Okay.
So what was surprising to me is they're not, oh, I know him from Atlanta, I know him around. They seem like they're friends, because the wife mentioned, oh, he's been around, he's there for Thanksgiving. They're actually, to me, what it sounds like, close friends.
Yeah.
Like just random people. So if they're that close of a friend, Phaedra obviously knew they were friends. I mean, all the years they've been together, I don't know when they started being friends. Phaedra must have realized they're friends. He knows him and Apollo are friends. So he broke the bro code.
Yes.
The fact that the wife really knows him and she's saying he's for the streets, I'm wondering, has anything ever happened between the two of them? Who knows about that? But Phaedra plotted all of this, which lets me know she still has some feelings, resentment. She wants to get revenge on Apollo because she knows exactly what she was doing by even doing scenes with this guy. And again, Heavenly made it seem like this is all staged. So it could have been, I truly believe it. It's so coincidental. Oh, Sweet Tea has a speed dating. Somebody Apollo's good friends with happens to be the speed date with all the women there. He's into Phaedra and Phaedra's into him. I think Phaedra went to this man. This is my opinion. Told me, look, I need to make a scene. Not even about getting Apollo.
No, but then how would she know that he knew like Apollo? She wouldn't know that. Like
that's what I'm saying. She probably didn't know she knew him. I believe she knew he knew Apollo. I believe she knew.
How would she know that?
How could she not? I think she knew. Again, this is my opinion.
No, I don't think so. I don't think she knew.
Think she knew about Apollo. He even said it to her when he think, oh, I know your husband. Oh, really?
No, I think eventually she knew. I don't think like from the get-go, from the dating scene, they knew each other, that she knew they knew each other. I do think eventually, like how Shek knew that she was Apollo's baby mom / ex-wife. Like I know he knew at a certain point, just like she knew. And they just didn't give a damn. And if I was Phaedra, I wouldn't give a damn either. First of all, if I'm on the show, I wouldn't give a damn if they knew each other. That's not my responsibility. That's your homeboy. You either be loyal to him or you don't be loyal to him, and you be loyal to me because you loving this right here. You be loyal to me, and let's keep it moving. But if he want to be disloyal to Apollo, that's on him. He got to deal with Apollo, not me. So that's, to me, I wouldn't. Phaedra, that's not her responsibility. So Apollo better not even try to think Phaedra's supposed to have loyalty toward him. But I get his anger toward Shek. But we'll get into that later because that ignites later on in the scene.
I stick to what I said. I think she knew, ladies, comment below. I think she had some inkling prior to even having one. That's just my opinion. Phaedra cannot be trusted. We all know. Lying Faith. I believe that she had something to do with this whole thing.
No, I do think she's messy, and I do believe that at a certain point she did get wind that that Apollo and her boy toy knew each other. So I think she did get wind of it, and then she didn't give a damn because it was like, I think when she got wind of it, it was kind of like, yeah, oh yeah, like I think she did, like that's when she was like gonna sink her heels into like all of the messy drama. And it was even, and it's better for the show, like how they saying Heavenly is messy. That's what the show is about. If I was Heavenly, I would probably do the same thing too. I'm sorry, and look, it made a great episode. That was the best episode
of the season. Honestly, if it wasn't for Heavenly, there wouldn't be a show. I'm being honest. Unless the producers are thinking of this from what Heavenly is saying, if you really think about it, if Heavenly is not involved in conjuring these things, I don't know if the producers are thinking of it. I don't know if Heavenly's thinking of it. She makes it seem on a YouTube channel it's because of her.
I think it is.
Boring as hell.
Heavenly's coming up with, Heavenly's doing those messy questions all the time. She's the one that's making sure it ignites. She's the one that suggested Sweet Tea come on the show with Greg. She's the one that's inviting Apollo and his wife. She is definitely producing this show, okay?
Correct.
And then, so they go into the part where during the confessional, they ask Phaedra, was it a good idea to invite Shek on the trip? And then her response was, I'm not answering that. I don't understand why. Why didn't you answer that?
Me too. Why? Is it a good idea or not? Why are you not answering it? That lets me know she has more to do with
That's what
knowing
I'm
who
saying. She does make her messiness so obvious. If you gotta be messy, stand on it or either deny it. Say something. It's just like kind of with the Candy situation. You don't want to answer nothing about that. Like you don't even want to defend yourself. Like you just gonna just wallow in this messiness. Like, come on, like give us something. So that scene was whack. I was kind of like done with her after like she didn't want to give nothing of like you don't even have to be loyal to Apollo. Like, come on, say something. So
That's
then
what me to believe that maybe she knew about this man before even the speed dating, and conjured this whole scene, conjured this whole fake whatever they have, whatever.
I think she also in like how how Quad is trying to get Dr. G's attention and like trying to make him bothered by her being with King. I feel that Phaedra is doing the same thing. She wants to bother and get under Apollo's skin, especially being that he's with the mistress who's now his wife.
Correct.
So yeah, I do agree with that. She is. I wouldn't be surprised if she did know from the scene, from the dating scene, where it's like, oh yeah, I know who you are. You're Apollo's ex-wife, right? Oh yeah, okay. And then she's like, oh yeah. But he does stand out. So I'm gonna just say he's tall. Shaq is handsome. So I can see if we were on a speeding date, out of everybody else, he is gonna stand out amongst all the other men there.
I agree. Now, did she plot and get him in the speeding date? I don't know, but the fact that she answered the question she did in the confessional lets me know. Who knows? Because I would have been like, no, I invited him. I don't regret inviting him. Or like, yeah, I did regret him because things went left. I don't want to answer that question.
Yeah, that was whack. Yeah. I was done with her after that scene. So now the next scene is when the men are on the beach and they want to the younger ones want to battle doing push-ups, and the older men are like the OGs and they like, we just want, and that's how I am too at this age. I was like that before too. Like I ain't trying to do all these activities. Like let's just drink and engage and talk and just talk some mess. And that's it. And that's what the OGs want to do, but the younger ones want to do push-ups. And here go Dr. G. He got down with it, okay? And showed out, okay?
So with that, I kind of get it because they're young, they're athletic, and it's kind of like who got the biggest balls. But I said 25 push-ups, that should be simple for a lot of young people. 25, I mean, I don't
yeah.
But that was like, let's do 50 and 100. Dr. G, I never looked at him in that light, like, ooh, Zaddy, ooh.
I tried to tell you.
I did. You've been telling me, I'll be like, ugh. But after those push-ups, ugh. But the one thing that did turn me off, Sweets, when he said, Letitia.
I like that. Listen, why people was even the other the basketball player was like, oh, that was kind of corny. Like you saying, no. I would love if somebody be like, Elisa, like, because that's what's giving him that inspiration to keep going. Do whatever you need to do them push-ups and inspire yourself and motivate yourself. And that was it. My woman. Like, I love it because that shows. I would love that scene. If I was Letitia, what? And my man is saying my name?
She wasn't even there.
Exactly.
So maybe mentally, if he said it, or maybe if he said it in a more sexual way, it would be like, oh, I don't know. I ain't like,
no, you don't do that in front of the men. I love that he didn't give a damn when he was around the fellas, okay? And he still didn't. And I love a man because all these men want to be around they men, all the other guys, the homeboys. They want to be all macho and show they like doing push-ups and all of that. And he was doing the push-ups, and at the same time, he still gave props to his woman and let them know this is what's motivating me to keep it going and to keep this strength up is my woman. I loved it. Okay. I don't care that they thought it was corny. I loved it.
It was corny. Comment below, ladies. Was it corny from Z saying her name? I think also it was two reasons, meaning, I keep in shape for her because she is younger. He can't be out of shape.
Exactly.
And also maybe maybe I think it was a dick to King, like Letitia. Like, I ain't thinking about Quad. Right now. This is Letitia. But he said her name 25 times. Good Lord. So that was the only thing. It was too much. Just do your damn push-ups, move on to the next. But they're young. They may not be wanting to sit and talk about it to the old folks. They want to show who's more athletic. I mean, there's only 3 to me that look like they're in shape and athletic. And now Dr. G. Whereas the new ex-football player, Shaq, and Quad's boyfriend King. The other ones are all out of shape, and Dr. G.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that could hang with them to part. But I think it was that moment. Let's just show.
No, and the new guy, the basketball player, is 3.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. That's why I said 3. And Dr.
Oh,
G.
yeah, 3.
And I'm kind of surprised because Jackie's husband was a basketball player. Like, come on, dude. Come on. You should still be.
Come on now. He's like 60 years old now.
Oh, yes. Well, whatever. And then the other one is fat, Eugene. So, and then you got Damon.
Oh, Eugene. I don't know. I think like Eugene could have been. He could have more so than Heavenly's man, Daddy. I don't know, but I definitely think
Heavenly's man had a better chance.
No, Eugene, I think would have outdid Daddy.
Eugene looked fat and lazy. No, you don't remember? Damon was in a fraternity, and one episode he was dancing and doing his fraternity dance. I think he got it more than Eugene. Eugene looked like when he get home, he just fat, lazy, and foreign all over.
Eugene lost some weight though. He lost a couple of.
He looks like he worked out. He does his job as a doctor. Comes home, lays around, and fart all over the place. He looked fat and lazy.
That's so wrong. So I do think in that scene though, showing Greg getting up doing those push-ups, I think that did do a little something to King. I think King didn't realize you still, at the end of the day, you still dealing with a 60-year-old man. That man, Dr. G is like 59. He like 50. He's in his late 50s. He's like 58.
He's almost there. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 60. So to me, I feel like doing those push-ups, I think King thought like maybe that's his, equal, even though they're not the same age. But I don't know. I just think that scene did something to King.
I think it's surprising. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I think it was more like, all right, I give him respect. Because he probably, you're that, you know how when you're that age, you're fit, you're probably looking, whatever, he's whack. He can't do stuff. So I think when he did it, in his head, like, yo, I'm shocked. Okay, I give him some props. I think he gave him some props at that point where he felt there was nothing to give him props about. I think that's
I don't know, in that moment, I think he felt like, oh, this is my equal. Like he's doing these push-ups. Now I can confront him because he think he all of that. He think he got all this strength, and I'm gonna knock him down a couple of pegs because he thinks he's Hercules right now. So I'm gonna knock him down. Now, had he been sitting there being like an old geezer, I don't think he would have did anything. I don't think he would have approached him.
I agree. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So then as they all sitting around and everybody's kind of like, King basically lets them know, I thank you guys for welcoming me in, whatever. So everybody's saying, yeah. So I think that kind of did put Dr. G on the spot because everybody was like, King is giving his thank yous to everybody. Everybody's saying something back to him, saying, you're welcomed in. We love you too. So it was kind of like, now it's like, uh-oh, Greg, you got to say something. I felt like the pressure was on him in that moment.
I agree. And he did say, I haven't said anything to you. And he went into what happened the night before. I think the way Greg approached it he approached it well, in a mature way in the beginning.
Yeah, then it took a real abrupt left.
Yeah, he should have just kept it as what it is. Like, look, there's no disrespect between you and I. What happened yesterday between me and Quad, I didn't get to even introduce you to the group, but we got no beef. That was all he had to say. He went on. This is when he should have zipped.
Like, I was thinking to myself, like, did he drink? Did he start drinking? Like, what the hell wrong with him?
That's what I said. So somebody in the group said, oh, he talks. Quad talks a lot, and so does he talk a lot. This is when because by that time, King was cool. Like, all right, we cool. I have no problem with you as long as you didn't say anything disrespectful to her. Or I think King either said, "Oh, as long as you didn't tell her shut the up." No, he didn't say that. But he didn't feel at that point you did anything disrespectful.
Yeah,
so, I'm cool. We cool now. That was the end of it. Like, all right.
Yeah.
He didn't really hear all the shit I did say, or he don't know how bad I was at that night. I would have left it alone. But here goes Dr. D adding more. Oh yeah, and I told her shut the F up. Mind you, a couple of scenes before, King is saying if he told you shut the F up, it would have went left. I don't think he thought that would have affected King at that point because they were cool. either he said I told her she talked too effing much. No, I think
he said I told her she talked too effing much.
Now, King is upset because Dr. G said, oh, I told her she talked too effing much. He's mad now at that part.
And I think it put him on the spot. Like, I do think right then and there, you on TV and you around like all these other guys, young and old, and you got to show and prove something. Because now you were saying earlier, oh yeah, I'm glad he wasn't talking to you. He better not been talking to you. So now he's letting him know I was talking to your woman. So it's kind of like the spotlight is on him. So now it's like he kind of had to say something. I would have said something too in that moment, like, oh no, I didn't hear you say that. Like, come on now. I would have said something too in that moment had I been King.
I agree, but Sweetie, I don't know if you watched What Happened Live. She said something that made sense. She says one thing saying shut the F up and you talk too effing much. Quad talks too effing much. Yeah. And I know in the back of King's head, he thinks she talks too effing much too. Quad is a talker. She likes to hear herself talk. She likes to talk. There's some people that just love to talk. Quad, everyone says it. They show it a lot of time. The producers show when she has to make a statement, she's going hours and talking. Quad talk too effing much.
Now, and not only that, she's drinking and talking too much, and you're provoking.
Correct. So with him being upset by the fact that he said that to her, mind you, Quad didn't bring this to what's his name, King, and say, yo, I really felt that, unless it was after behind the scenes, but obviously not, because he said he didn't hear it. She didn't say, you know, I feel he disrespected me, because King was saying, I don't feel he said anything to disrespect you, because if he did, I would have jumped in. At that point, Quad didn't say nothing. She didn't say, you know what, he did disrespect me because he told me I talked too effing much.
Did you see that part though? I don't remember that part. I don't know if they showed that part. Did Dr. G actually say that in that scene? Did they catch that?
Yes, I heard it. So then when I heard him say it, yeah, I remember him saying, oh, yeah, you know, you talk too effing much. So I'm like, how the hell I heard it and King didn't hear it? But again,
yeah,
I heard it. But my whole point is when he was like, oh, well, I didn't jump in and say anything because I don't feel he disrespected you. Which at that point, I don't think he did either. But Quad didn't say, unless she knows some man and they want problems. She never said, you know what, he did disrespect me. He told me I talked too effing much.
But she might have not have known either, though, because I don't remember him directing that at her either. It was too much going on, too much stimulus going on there.
I remember him saying you talk too damn much. I don't know if he said effing, whatever, but he said you talk too damn much. I did. I heard it as a viewer. So he says this to Greg, and then talks about an apology that he needs to.
I would have laughed in his face.
I don't think Greg needs to apologize for anything.
Absolutely not.
Stay on business. I need to apologize. She needs to apologize for her behavior, and then maybe I'll apologize telling she talked to effing much. But why am I apologizing and telling she talked to effing much? She does. She does. Everybody knows it.
Yes.
The only thing is he add the word effing in it. If he said, oh, yo, Quad talk too much, you're going to want to fight him for that? She does talk too much.
Well, I think it's him saying anything to her. Like, if he do feel like she talked too much, let it ride. And I think in his way, like, listen, I don't agree with King, but I think in his mind, it's like, don't say nothing to her. If you think she talked too much, let her talk. Don't say nothing. But not to me, you ain't going to talk too much.
Huh?
Not to me. Like, I get Greg's part too, like in what he's saying in his defense. He's saying, I did say she talked too much, but she shouldn't be talking too much to me. It's not like she's talking too much on the side somewhere and she's talking to the ladies and then I'm commenting, yeah, she's talking too much. No, when you're directing that mess to me, I'm gonna let you know you're talking too effing much.
I agree with, I stand with Greg on this. Not only talking too much is one thing, but you're making comments of something you know I want. I wanted a kid with you. You didn't give it to me. And you know you're talking about something that's very sensitive to me and my wife now because you know we're struggling to have kids. That what everything else Quad was saying did not bother me as much as when she's like, oh, I really want you guys to have a baby. I'll pay for the baby shower. When you know they're having issues, they possibly can't even have kids. So to me, that was a dig. You know you're not paying for no damn baby shower.
And you're not gonna be swinging it in a circle at my baby shower either, like you said.
I never understood. Someone educate me. What the hell does that mean? Swinging it in a circle? You're twerking on it, or you think about?
Yes, that's what she mean. That's what I'm saying. She wanted attention so bad. It was almost like she was drunk talking, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, I'll throw you a baby shower, and I'll throw it in a circle. Like she wanted to let them know, I'm gonna throw you a baby shower, but look at my ass. Did you forget about this ass? I think that's what she was saying.
I think she also meant to remind Dr. G. Remember when I used to throw it in a circle for you?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She
technique, her little sexual technique. So King, if you're watching, that's when you need to check her. Like not doing sexual things, because maybe that was a little her sexual technique with him, or their sexual or whatever. Swinging what in a circle? Why are you even making sexual references to
Yes, exactly.
And so about a baby shower. So all of that, what man, you know, I don't know any man that would not have reacted to that in a negative way. Number one, you're being disrespectful to me. You're disrespecting your man, and you're disrespecting my woman. And then you're talking about something that you know right now we are struggling. You know, Dr. G wanted a kid for how long? You didn't give him one.
Exactly.
He's trying to have one with Sweet Tea. That's not happening. And I told him a baby shower. She, I think, in that point was basically throwing it in their face.
Yeah.
So I agree why he said that. But King's reaction at that moment seemed to have went well, because he was like, "Oh, you need to apologize," and Dr. G was looking at him like, "I'm not."
Yeah.
At that point, I thought that would have been the end of it, but of course, we know it's not because we saw the previews. But that kind of like stopped because they went back, I guess, to the ladies.
No, when Dr. G got up though, in that scene, and they were going back and forth, and Dr. G was sitting there looking like a daddy to me. I'm telling you, I'm team Dr. G. So he was just sitting there looking like a daddy, smoking that cigar.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
What? Oh. And then when he got up, he said we had to stay in his face. He went, and then with the cigar, he had the cigar. Yeah. I ain't trying to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor. I don't got time for this. Yeah. And then he said like that, but he did scare me when he got up. He scared me when he got up out that seat, because you don't be approaching no man getting in his face. And then he tried to simmer things down with him and King, but to me it kind of like exacerbated the situation, because he got up and it wasn't like he got up to apologize. It was kind of like he got up, had the cigar, blew, exhaled and inhaled, and then kind of said to him, "I'm trying to have no beef with you." And then King said something like, "There ain't gonna be no beef." Okay, and that's cool. And then he just turned back around, and it just looked tense in that moment. It was looking very tense.
Sexy. Dr. G never looked sexy, but I was sexier, Dr. G.
See, I told you, I see that potential in these men. I'm trying to tell you.
One, that squeaky, nasty kitty voice, female voice is gone. For some reason, I don't hear it no more. I don't know if he still has it. Him getting up shows I'm not scared of you, young buck. If we gotta fight, we gotta fight. Even if I get beat up, but I'm not a punk. That let me know that I'm not a punk. It didn't scare me at that moment, because I know if anything happens, he's gonna get beat up. So it didn't scare me. I thought that was the moment it was going to be the big fight or the big commotion.
Yeah.
The big confrontation that we've been seeing played on in social media and everywhere. I thought that was the moment, and it didn't happen. But I think him standing up was a stance. Like, look, you coming at me about Quad, but let me tell you something. I'm not scared of you. I'm not going to apologize to her, and I'm in your face. So if you're about to do something, do it, regardless if I get beat up or not. But I'm not going to do anything, because I'm a doctor. So I'm going to let you make a fool of yourself, because you probably don't have much to lose. All you got is a business, a rental business. But I am a professional. I'm not going to lose my license. I'm not going to have somebody like you sue me or make me look bad in front of my patients. So I like the fact that he threw. I mean, you know, sometimes you feel like, oh, they're throwing their profession. At that point, he let him know, I'm a doctor.
Oh, yes, I would absolutely throw what? If I was a doctor, and first of all, I would have threw up too. He's a psychiatrist. I would have definitely threw that up. You need to sit out on my couch, because I see you might need some healing. Like, I probably would have, I would have threw that all up in his face, okay?
Yeah. So him throwing that in King's face, and he's Jamaican. I know Jamaican men. He be like, "Me don't care, you're a doctor." For him, it's not as big of a deal. But the fact that he said it lets me know I have status.
Yes.
It's not all about money. People forget, oh yeah, I got millions of dollars. Yeah, there's certain statuses also. Yeah, you have millions of money. But at the end of the day, I'm a doctor. I have a status higher than you renting cars.
Yes.
During COVID, how great was your business? Trust me, during
Exactly.
COVID, a lot of people's going to Dr. G for helping.
Yes.
Who are you helping? Prom, people that want to floss. He's helping a lot of people with mental health.
Yes.
So I'm over here. I don't care how much money you have, but as a doctor, my status wherever I go is higher than yours, even if you got money. My status. So I think throwing that in his face, King may not act like he cared. He cared at that point.
Yeah, I would too. I would be like, first of all, I wouldn't even got up in his face. He's too. I just feel like they're just not on the same level. Like King is too young. Dr. G, he might look young, but he's actually not, and he's a doctor. I just would have just. Anyway, we're gonna get into that in a minute. But I love the part when Eugene tried to like bring down the temperature in the room and like basically like because I probably would have said something at that point, but I would have kept it on. But there was really nothing to say. He was kind of like, if you look at it in this, and he's like, well, I don't even know where to go with this. Like he didn't know what the hell to say. He just wanted to like bring down the temperature.
Yeah, and I think who was it? Cecil jumped in.
Yeah.
Somebody else jumped in.
Cecil, and then he was like, yeah, thanks, guy. Thanks for helping me.
Yeah, there was nothing you could have said like, okay, let's all go for a swim.
Yes.
Let's go see what the ladies are doing. Anybody want to do more push-ups? There wasn't nothing else you can say because the tension was so high.
Mm-hmm. And then the next scene is the ladies in the water. And Shaq is over there. I don't know what he's doing, just over there, just surrounded by the ladies. No, at first they was talking about him, and it just so happened he comes up in the scene. But they talking like, "Oh, this is messy. Phaedra got her man here, and then the ex-husband is here with the wife. They all know each other. This is messy." And that's when they started asking Apollo's wife, like, y'all really like know Shaq? Like, y'all really know this guy? And then that's when she's like, yeah, we know him. He comes for Thanksgiving and everything.
But I think also she kept making sure that everybody know he's not serious about Phaedra. He's for the streets. He's for the streets. She kept making everyone be aware that this ain't serious. He didn't want her. He want everybody. He probably want to have 1.2. So was that kind of hate or not? I don't know. But the fact that he's a good looking man, she kept throwing that in. They kept talking about it. Him and Phaedra was doing a lot, which I could tell was more for Apollo, taking pictures, him holding her up. And
to me, it was like, wait, she didn't seem that much. Yes, to me, before that scene, she didn't seem too into him. Like, she just seemed like they was in separate rooms. To me, I just didn't see that much affection until Apollo came up on the scene.
I agree. But there was a point where they showed both of them, he was feeding her strawberries. But that was nothing. But that whole scooping up, grabbing her butt, it was for Apollo's attention. Then he came and they asked him questions, and I think he said something. I don't have to answer that question. He said,
yeah, to me, he was acting like a goofball in that scene. I didn't like it at all.
Female, to be honest, he made a very female act.
Exactly. I was turned off when I saw that part with him. Like,
I don't have to answer your question. He said something. I was like, this.
He was like trying to mimic them, I think. Like when she was like, how do you know them? What do you mean? How do I know? Like he was trying to mimic them, but to me, it's like, I was
turned me off right away. Right then, I was like, he's a no-go.
Yes, me too.
Okay. I know Phaedra is not looking for a relationship. She's not looking for a wedding. She's not looking for a baby daddy. So her having fun and him being for the streets, she don't give a damn if he's taking her to lavish this. And from what I hear, she don't be giving her coochie to everybody. That's what happens. Like a sexually active woman. She's more of a tease. Like, it lets you think you're gonna get it and spend the money, but you don't get it, which is a smart way. So if he's able to have fun and with him, so be it. At the end of the day, it's not gonna go anywhere. They both know this, so who cares if he's for the streets? You're not gonna get anything from STDs or anything from him because you're not giving him any.
Yeah, and I do think that he is, I don't know, I think he is there for like the TVs. I don't know if he wants something either. Like she said, he's for the streets. I think he might be for the streets. I do think like for him to even be there and know that that's your homeboy's ex-wife, kid's mother, and you on the scene with, and I didn't even know you was gonna be here. You didn't even tell me like how deep this was. To me, it's like he wants the limelight. He might not even be into Phaedra that much. He is for the streets. To me, it told me that, and it was just annoying to me that him and Phaedra are both like evading the question about whether they knew. Like I get him, like him not wanting to like, because it does seem disloyal the way he's going about it. Like Apollo is your homeboy. He should be evading the question. I would be embarrassed if I was him. But you there, so you got to stand 10 toes down now and say something. You can't just be evading the question. But with Phaedra, I don't get why she's so angered that they asking these questions of him. Like you're there. He's here. Like, why wouldn't we ask questions? Like, do you think you on this show and you're just gonna be lamping the whole time and you ain't gonna get into this mess either? You ain't getting in the mud with us. You coming right in the mud, girl. Who is this? And how does he know your ex-man? Like, we need to know. And I'm gonna bring it out to the forefront. The problem with Phaedra, she just want to be on the show and collect the check. No, you ain't gonna be on the show just collecting check, girlfriend.
So I have to say I commend heavily, applaud.
Yes,
producers
for producing,
whatever, because Phaedra has been coasting, even in Atlanta Housewives. The only reason we knew her drama because they had no other choice because Apollo brought the drama. Remember the part where she was in? She always kept everything hush hush. She's the Southern Belle. No one really knew any of Phaedra's drama except for that one scene I remember, Atlanta Housewives, when she was in the garage and they were filming and Apollo came for his things.
Mm-hmm.
Because he came in while they were filming. Other than that, there was never been in the drama of Candy, which we found out afterwards. There has never been any drama of Phaedra. So you're not gonna come on this show and just
yes,
and get a check and do nothing and not bring it in. Know about your relationship. They hardly show Phaedra at her house. They hardly show her in her business. I don't see her her kids.
And you're not married to medicine. And you're not even married to medicine. You have nothing to do with medicine. Girl, you're gonna try to substantiate your existence here. So we bringing the mess onto it. I think she just wanted to be on the show. And this episode, I think she just wanted to create a messy scene under the radar, but with Apollo, like get under his skin, but not let it come out into the forefront, but just bring her little boy toy on the show and then kind of just get under Apollo's skin. And she didn't want nobody else around to mention it. She wanted to just coast in that scene and get under Apollo's skin without anybody saying anything to her. And they did. They brought it out to the forefront. And I'm glad they did.
I am very happy they did. It's about time somebody let her drama be seen.
And why are you playing with Apollo like that? You know Apollo will let you know what time it is. Why would you even play with your ex-husband like that? Like, if you know, it's not like Greg. Quad can play with him until he reacts fine. But Apollo is not the one or the two, okay?
Apollo don't play.
For her to even be playing with him like that, you should know it's about to get messy. So in this scene, Apollo comes on the scene. But what you was about to say?
So Phaedra planned on coastal on the trip like she did last season. Let's last season she came by herself. She did all the couple stuff. Be there for tea, sweet tea. Enjoy a free trip on Bravo's watch. Heavenly told her, "Oh, Apollo's coming." So she knew there was gonna be some mess. She made it seem like, "Oh, I don't care if he comes," knowing damn well the woman did knowing damn well. So she then was like, "Yo, if Apollo's coming, I'm not gonna be embarrassed being and any woman would. I'm not gonna go there be by myself and he's gonna possibly be with his wife and was coming. Look, let me call this dude and be like, look, you want a free trip? I'll pay for you if I had to." Or Bravo's like, "Yo, bring him along." So
we'll pay.
Yeah, I don't think she expected the drama to be that intense. But once she saw Apollo and his wife show up, and we don't see everything. They were on the pool, they were on the boat. Every couple looked like they were happy. They were drinking. Apollo was probably affectionate to his wife. She looked like she's having a good time. She was like, "Yo, I need to turn this up. Now let him grab my behind. Let me do this. Let me do that." The jealousy played a part, because you got to remember there was a lot of stuff that happened before that incident. Remember, they were on the boat for a while, turning, dancing, twerking on each other, having a great time. People were engaging with the wife and Apollo. There was a time they showed Quad talking to Apollo and the wife. They showed Phaedra hugging and welcoming. Phaedra hasn't been that welcoming to Phaedra. So when you think about it, you see,
no, Phaedra hasn't been that welcoming to who?
I mean, Heavenly haven't been that welcoming to Phaedra.
Yeah.
Apollo's wife was on the boat. Oh my God. So you seen the men interacting. Now you're like, okay, they're really feeling her, the mistress, and him. Also probably than her. So what else is she will do? I need to turn this up now. I need to turn this up. And she even said it. This is why I call them those bees, because they're supposed to be my friends, which I don't know how she think they're your friends and supporting me, but now they're, really supporting Apollo and his girlfriend. Number one, they're not your friend. Number two, this is a show for entertainment. Number three, you are shady boots.
Yeah. You're not going to be coasting along.
They would have done that to Jackie. Jackie cheated. Husband cheated. Did they ever bring the mistress on the show? That could have been good. They could have brought the mistress on the show.
They should have did something, because she needs to substantiate her existence too.
She's another one they need to take out her dirty laundry. But when that happened, did they ever bring the mistress on the show? Not even the mistress and a new man or something. Did they even mention? I don't even know how the mistress looks like. And again, heavily protected Jackie. No one brought the mistress. And I don't even know who the mistress is. I don't even know how she looks like. So they protected Jack. They did not protect Quad because of Quad's attitude, and they damn sure not going to protect Phaedra. Mind you, they were already showing you signs that Apollo's possibly going to be on the show. He was there last season. He had 1 or 2 seasons. He did the reunion. What the hell was he in the reunion for? That Phaedra mentioned she brought him in the reunion, supposedly. So all of that was for show. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens, because supposedly, allegedly, the wife tried to beat up Phaedra.
Oh, she did? Okay. I can see that.
I don't know if it's true, but we'll see.
Yeah. So then Apollo walks up on the scene and he basically lets everybody know, like, yeah, I didn't know that you was dating my ex-wife. And then, Phaedra, like Quad, is like, I don't know why he cares about who I'm dating and who I'm kidding. It's been 7 years since we've been married. But I'm team Apollo on this.
First of all, Phaedra, shut the hell up, because it wasn't about you.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't step up to be like, why you dating my friend? It's bro code.
Yes.
Like, why are you dating my baby mother, my ex-wife? Because we have kids together. So what? If this gets serious, you're going to be the stepdad? Like, I would feel the same way. Who wouldn't? You with me all the time. You mentioned you're going to go on a speed date. You didn't mention you saw my wife there. You didn't mention, yo, I'm going to go on this trip. Yo, Apollo probably mentioned, yo, I'm going to go on this trip. I'm going to probably be on Bravo.
Yeah.
So close. I would feel that way about any friend, any acquaintance. Like,
absolutely.
Really, do that to me. I had a best friend do that to me.
Really?
Yeah, I had a best friend do that behind my back.
So, hell no.
With my ex-husband, she's no longer my friend. But why wouldn't you say, oh, yo, I met your wife. Yo, I met speed dating. She's mad cool. You mind if mind you, if you follow the streets, you know how many women is in Atlanta? Why does it have to be her? Because
and why would you even let me know you coming on a show? Like you going on a trip, a cash trip, knowing that I was a house husband at one point in time. Now you about to be on the same show that I was as your boy, as your homeboy, and you're not gonna say nothing until I see you mingling with my ex-wife? That's crazy. It had nothing to do with Phaedra. She, again, like Quad, is delusional. That man is not bothered by you dealing with his friend. He's more bothered by the boy code.
Exactly. And I think if it was somebody else, he wouldn't give a damn. The other thing is, you don't think Phaedra told him, yo, Apollo's going to be there?
Yeah.
I do not believe for a second that Phaedra was going with this man and not tell him, yo, Apollo's going to be at the you surprised him. He didn't look surprised, like, oh shoot, Apollo's here. He knew Apollo's going to be there. So at that point, you didn't want to be like, nah, Apollo's going to be there. You don't like, chill. I'm not going to, that's too messy. I'm not going to go. Or be like, yo, you know what? Phaedra wants me to come. I heard you're going to be there. But you know what? I need this check. or I want to, it's a scene, nothing going on with Phaedra, but I'm trying to promote my brand. I'm trying to get some modeling.
Exactly.
Me and her is hooking up. What you think? And he's gonna be like, "Are you crazy?" Or like, "All right, if it's nothing serious and you just trying to promote yourself, all right, bro."
Yeah, he did it all wrong. He messed up with that one because now he probably ain't even gonna be brought back on the show again. You did all of this for what? Like, you didn't even promote a business. You didn't do nothing. You just came on there to what? Just show your ass and look stupid. And then now, like, you're not even gonna be. Nothing came out of it for this guy. And so it's just stupid.
Basically, you show you're not trustworthy, and you let all the women know you for the streets. And if there's certain women who are not into men who are for the streets,
exactly
those type of women. So your people know you can't be trustworthy, and people know you for the streets. Nothing came out of this for him at this point.
And then in that moment, that's when Phaedra, got delusional. Why does he care who I'm dating? And then that's when Sherrein stepped in and had to check her. He don't give a damn about you, girl. And I wish she would have followed it up with, this is bro code. It has nothing to do with you. This is our friend, a friend of the family. He been coming over for Thanksgiving, girl. This has nothing to do with you. But she said in that moment, she just checked Phaedra and let her know it had nothing to do with you. But of course, Phaedra's still delusional and think it does. And then that's when Phaedra said, you bad body bitch, or whatever she said to her about her body.
Faye. You call her Faye. My name is not Faye. I'm surprised when she said wide body bitch, the woman didn't jump up and get nasty. She didn't say anything.
A part of me felt like, did the producers, the editors do some of that scene? Because I was trying to see, did she actually say that? Because in that moment, I didn't see Phaedra's mouth move. Like, it's almost like she said it, but then you didn't see Phaedra in that moment. It kind of like, it seemed like it was just thrown
in the background. I wasn't sure. I think there was probably some.
Yeah, I don't even think anybody heard it. It seemed like the producers or the editors threw that in there and made it louder. I don't think she heard her. I don't think anybody heard her in that moment because it just seemed like it didn't go with the scene in that moment when I looked at it. I even rewound it.
Exactly, I did too. And the woman had no reaction. Somebody's going to call you wide back bitch. I think you're going to react.
Yeah.
So she didn't react to Sherrein, whatever her name is. When that was said, I didn't see any reaction.
From no one.
From no one or her. So I was like, oh, okay. But again, Phaedra, this is not about you. Now, if you brought a new man and a power actor like that, then I could say, okay, it's about you. Like God and Dr. G. This is not about you. It's about loyalty.
Yeah. Okay. And then in that moment, that's when
Sweet Tea got in it.
Yeah, she asked. I was like, oh no, why this girl is approaching? Like, I just think that Sweet Tea is just not, I just feel like she does not articulate herself well. Because I was just, when Heavenly talks to her, she always talks down to Sweet Tea from day one. And I just feel like Sweet Tea doesn't do enough to check Heavenly. So I'm like, please don't go at Heavenly right now because you just don't got the stamina to like roll with Heavenly, like, and then Heavenly just told her like, shut the F up and whatnot. Like, cause it's like you questioning her, like, why did you, once she found out it was Heavenly that invited her, she should have just left it alone. But then she did have the gall to question Heavenly, like, why did you do this? And then Heavenly told her, shut the F up.
She's saying that Phaedra's your friend. Phaedra is not your friend. You are not in Phaedra's level to be her friend.
You knew.
The friends Phaedra surrounds with, the Portias, maybe Quad, the elite of Atlanta. You are not Phaedra's friend to advocate and fight her battles. That's one. So
exactly.
When in a conventional, Phaedra's my friend. I said, no, she's not. You're more Contessa's friend. You're more that type. You're not Phaedra's friend. You could fight for all you want. By the time she's there, I bet you, if you talk to Sweet Tea now, Phaedra's probably not even called her one time.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. Phaedra don't give a damn about her. If somebody was, did she speak up for her and with anybody when Quad was coming at her? Probably would say nothing. She sat there with her lips tightly, like, nothing, said nothing. So why are you going to bat for her? Especially with Heavenly. Like, I would have just stayed out of it because now it's going to turn up.
Exactly. I would have just left it on like everybody else did. That's not my business. Secondly, you're going at Heavenly. And again, we don't think anybody's better than somebody else. Decided you cannot compete. I don't know what Sweet Tea does. Sweet Tea does not have money unless it's money like them, unless it's Dr. G's. And I think it was on the show and also on Watch What Happened Live. She said she likes access to the money, which
yes, again, she had the nerve to say that.
is gold digger comments. Even if you think it, you don't say it, especially if you're married to the person.
But again, I think she has a hard time articulating herself. Like, I really think the stuff that comes out of her mouth is country Bama. Like, it does not. She doesn't know how to be classy and say it. Because I know what she's trying to say. Like, to me, I feel like she's saying it in a way, like, because I say the same thing. Like, whoever I'm married to, like me and my husband, like, I want to make sure he's coming in here with money too, so that we could have money together, build together as a team. I'm bringing money. I want you to bring money too, and we can have access to each other's money to build. She's not saying it that way. I just want access to the money. Like, she's just seeming so country, saying it and then like saying it over and over with no type of substance to it.
Correct, but she may not have money to build. We don't know. She does some online whatever.
No, she's a country. I mean, a country. She's a government worker. She's a 9 to 5, but she works for the government.
Oh, okay. She's making what, 6? I don't know. I don't think she's making.
It sounds like she's doing something very. I don't know if it's the FBI. It sounds like she's working from home, but it's for the government, and it sounds like she's doing like some type of high, like prestigious type. It could be the FBI. Be
that time prestigious if you're on that show. Normally, if governmental jobs like that, they probably won't even want you to sign off on shows like this.
True, but the way she said it, she can't say what it is in the government. So I'm like, did this girl work for the Pentagon or something? Like, what is it?
Pushing papers.
She might be working for the Postal Service. Exactly. Or we know.
If you are in that type of high profile position, well, maybe they'll let you do it because you're at home and you're not telling anyone, but whatever at that point. You're not in their levels. You're with Toya. Toya don't have a job. Toya don't have nothing. Toya don't have nothing going on. She tried to
and Toya doesn't even say that. I married him because I want access to the money. I just think there's a way you say it.
And we know this already with Toya. Toya has nothing going on but that Birkin bag.
Mm-hmm.
Toya tried having a winery business. Obviously a flop. She doesn't talk about it. Heavenly is a well-established man without her husband. You got to understand the status level here. Having status due to your husband, to me, is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
My smile sense, she has status without her husband. She's a doctor, and again, to them, there's a big deal. She has businesses. You have nothing. So, to be honest, someone like her, you need to shut your mouth. What I didn't like about Heavenly, her running up to Sweet Tea and acting all tough. Where was that energy of Quintessa? Security. With Sweet Tea, you want to act tough. That's why they're like, and then her behind ended up falling in the damn water.
Yeah, looking all goofy. Sweet
Tea should have went after her. Look at your old behind. Whatever she should have said, because Sweet Tea's young. Look at you. You can't even stand up straight and fight or defend. This is where Sweet Tea should have made fun of.
That's what I'm saying. Sweet Tea don't go in as hard as she could. So tell us what you disagree with, Smile Sense.
Yeah,
but yeah,
agree with. But I didn't like Heavenly's aggression towards Sweet Tea because it was too rough and hard and running up on her like you're about to fight. Because somebody's running up on me, you want to fight.
Yeah.
The energy of Quintessa. And I understand her energy of Quintessa is different because they were friends. So maybe her intent was never to fight Quintessa.
Mm-hmm.
You might not have that type of love for her where you're like, oh, look, I'll fight this beat because I don't really care about her. But all of that was not necessary because at the end of the day, is because you may think you may have an upper hand on Sweet Tea because she can't beat you. If she knew Sweet Tea could beat her like Quintessa could,
yeah,
she would have done what she did because with Quintessa, she was calling out for security.
Mm-hmm.
We all know Heavenly can't fight. Heavenly said she can't fight. We don't know what Sweet Tea's capable of. But you running up on her and acting like you want to fight, you didn't have that same energy of Quintessa. You were running away from Quintessa.
She ain't gonna do that. Look at Quintessa. Quintessa got abs. She got muscles. She's cut up. I ain't messing with Quintessa either.
Me neither. Quintessa could beat all of them on that show.
All of them. So we know, she know, Dr. Heavenly ain't stupid, but she is stupid too. But I think that Sweet Tea just presents herself like some old country homely type woman. So I just think Heavenly just looks down on her every which way possible. So I just think she does think that she can battle with Sweet Tea, like she could throw hands with Sweet Tea, and I really think she can. Like, so I don't know why she's even doing that, because Sweet Tea does seem like she will throw hands for her man.
Exactly, and that shows a lot. And this is where Heavenly, I think, feels like, oh yeah, I could take Sweet Tea. You'd be surprised. Sweet Tea could probably beat you behind.
Yeah.
Because when we're not gonna go back to the scene, but let's not forget she ran to participate or defuse or fight or jump in that for her and her man.
And not only that, did you see the way she was running? Did you see that sprint? It was like an athletic sprint she did, okay?
Yes, quick. Okay, so don't sleep. Oh, she's a country bumpkin. We don't know this girl could have been scrapping all her life. We don't know her history.
Yeah.
You said you've never been in a fight. You could get beat up. So you need to sit your behind down. Stay when you fell in the pool. Stay down there. But you should not have ran up on Sweet Tea, especially
and
your security this a little bit. But I didn't.
Yeah, it was. I did pause it. I saw a security woman type come out from nowhere.
I'm like, who's this woman right here? I never seen her before.
Yeah, and I just think, first of all, Dr. Heavenly is old enough to be Sweet Tea's mother. Like, why are you even thinking that you can battle with this girl? I know, Heavenly is not considered old. Oh, I don't think that's old. She middle aged or whatever. But you do not have the stamina of a 30-year-old woman. Okay. Not only is she a 30-year-old woman, she's a woman that will. Sweet Tea is a woman I could tell she's ready to throw hands. Okay.
Exactly, but I think Heavenly thinks, oh, country bumpkin, I could probably.
Yes.
I think so, because you running up on her like you wanted to fight. Heavenly run up on Sweet Tea like, let's talk. You ran up on her like, yo, I want to beat up this chick. And I didn't like that, because you should have kept that same energy to Contessa and not call security. If she sat where she wasn't still, because Sweet Tea wasn't running up on her. So that I didn't like that about Heavenly. Don't try to act tough to people you think you could beat, because I think Sweet Tea,
exactly.
I personally think Sweet Tea would beat the hell out of Heavenly.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that. So then the security comes over, everybody breaking each other up. They look over, the men, they all into they like little, like whatever they talking about. And then Dr. G goes over to go calm his woman down, which I appreciated. He grabbed her up, let her know, calm your ass down. And then, he's and King, here he comes, taking that moment. I don't know why. That was the most stupidest thing. That's his immaturity, I think, on King's part, to take that moment to approach Dr. G about what they spoke about. I don't even know how long ago that was, because, it looked like it could have been a couple of minutes later, or it could have been a couple of hours later, and they could have moved on from that topic that they was talking about before. But it seemed like King wanted to take that moment to go at Dr. G, which I thought that was like so stupid of King to approach Dr. G in that moment. Then his excuse was, I want to take that moment when the guys wasn't around or nobody. Like, you shouldn't have took that moment, because the guys are still within distance. Like, if anything, you should have waited till they got back to the hotel, knocked on the door, asked them to step outside or something. Like, why would you think that's a opportune moment to talk to him while he's trying to calm down his wife?
So before we get to that, what I did like about the new couple, the football playing the wife, I like the fact he ran up in his wife. Are you good? What's going on? He was concerned about her. Like, I like him. I don't know much about him, but I really appreciate where he was like, you good? Did you get hurt?
But they all ran up to it wasn't him. They all ran up to their wives.
Yeah, but I like the way he handled it, because remember, she's new to the situation.
Yeah.
They already knew it was Sweet Tea and what's her face? Heavenly. But he made sure you didn't get hurt. Nothing happened when you were around. I appreciated the way he approached her with it. Like, are you safe? Are you good? Nobody touched you. Nothing happened. From what it looks like, and I don't know him, if something were to pop off, I think he would be that husband to probably get involved. Like, yo, what the hell? So I appreciate Eugene is kind of goes Toya, whatever. Jackie's never in any mess. Quad and King, I don't know, he probably wouldn't have said anything, but I really like the way he handled it when he thought possibly she was even around that type of surrounding.
And what do you think about Contessa and her husband? Because he's checked on her too with her, I got a $3,000 camera I don't want to let go of.
I mean, why you throwing that in there? I mean, I really care about him and Scott. I'm not a fan of Contessa or Scott.
Yeah, they're not going to be on next season. I think they time is done.
Yeah, there's nothing going on with them. But I just like the way he comforted her.
Yeah.
It was more comfort than You good? What happened? It wasn't like, what happened? It wasn't one of those. It's kind of like, okay, are you all right? Nothing happened. It was comforting. And again, her in the movie, they're used to the mess. Everybody in the mess, but her being a new, I don't know, she's used to this type of drama. Someone fighting, producers coming, they probably end scene. So I really appreciate the way he approached her. That's what I think. So now with the King situation, I think it was bad timing. Your wife is upset again with Heavenly. She's erratic. You don't know what she's gonna do. This is not the time you're gonna come to him because he's already probably on emotion. He doesn't like Heavenly. His wife is upset. He could be, his anger towards Heavenly could be now towards you. It was not the time where he's comforting his wife about some crap that happened with Heavenly, which he doesn't even know what the situation yet. For you to jump in, oh well, now none of the men around. This is the time for us to talk. I think that he was still on edge. It's kind of like, yo, what the hell happened with Heavenly? What's going on with my wife? She's still acting crazy. This is not the time. This is not to bring that up at all.
Exactly.
And it was too much going on, moving. Unless I'm thinking when he brought it up was way after everyone was calmed down, but it was not, because when you look back, Sweet Tea was still be comforted by, I don't remember who the two women were, calming her down. So they were calming her down. I'm assuming Dr. G is one of the people who would calm her down. My wife is distressed about a situation I don't know about. I want to talk about Quad.
Exactly.
Calm my wife down. Make sure she's good. We'll talk later. And I think that's what Dr. G should be like, yo, we'll talk about this later. Right now, my wife is going through some stuff. I think to me, him doing and talking about it now, I don't know, producers like, no, this is the opportunity, because it was like too much drama. Or he felt, oh, everyone's focused on Sweet Tea. This is my opportunity to attack Greg because nobody's there to protect him. Because the men were checking on their wives. And so I don't know if he's like, oh, this is a good opportunity. None of the men. And I think he kind of said it in his confession, like, oh, this is where he won't try to. He did say in the confession, like, oh, this
is. He did. That's what I was talking about. He did say that. And to me, I thought that was a stupid reason. Like, I think he could have used another way to approach him. He said that would be great because the guys wasn't around. And he felt like he wanted to catch him at a time when nobody else was around. But they still were in earshot.
I understand. You want to catch him when he's not on, because then he don't have to feel like he had to boast his chest and prove himself.
But if that's the case, why wouldn't you wait till later on? They all are on vacation. Wait till later on at the hotel. Like, why would you approach him when they still within a foot of distance, still within earshot? I think, and then the moment like he's trying to calm down his wife, like now you trying to get me riled up when I'm trying to calm my wife down who was riled up. Like, to me, that was just so stupid of King.
And she's already riled up. So I think that was dumb. I think it would have been like, even when they were getting off the boat, they had to go back to the hotel, like, yo, can we have a conversation right after? I think it was terrible timing. Even me, I'm like, he's talking about that now? Like, this is a whole bunch of drama that's going on. Heavenly's over there. The security people's over there. Production's all over the place. Sweet Teas. I didn't like that. I didn't think it was good timing at all.
Exactly. So then he goes over there and approaches him and lets him know, like, you know, he had a problem with what. To me, it's like, why you, like, to me, that conversation was done with. So he's taking his time to approach him. I think he wasn't satisfied with their conversation from earlier. So he basically let him know, if, you know, what you said wasn't appropriate. And I think if there's any other time, you don't say nothing to Quad. And then that's when he was like, well, I don't want to say nothing to Quad. And then that's when he was like, well, don't. And if you got something to say to her, say it to me. And then he's like, no, if she come talk to me and she has stuff to say to me, I'm going to say something back. And then that's when it's like, the way King was talking to him, like you dealing with a child. First of all, you don't approach another man talking about, my woman could say whatever they want to you as a man. And then you're not supposed to react. And your woman can keep going at me and provoking me, and you're not checking her. Like, to me, I just think King was just out of line. He's overstepped his boundaries in that moment.
Oh, 100%. No man, first of all, Quad is disrespectful from before when they were married. No man is going to take disrespect from a man or woman. And I'm going, oh, yeah, Quad is telling me a whole bunch of craziness. I'm not nothing. And you know what? I'm gonna DM Chris. Where you gonna DM? You don't have the man's number. I'm gonna DM in an Instagram and tell him these are all the stuff Quad said. And do what? Are you gonna even hold Quad accountable? What you need to be doing is telling your girl Quad, shut the hell up and don't say nothing to this man.
Yeah.
That's what
exactly. And I'm a man. I'm a man, and you think your woman can say whatever she wants to me? You're not even checking your woman, and you think she can just come up to me as a man? Like, you're not even respecting the whole manhood. Why would you think it's okay for your woman to approach me and say anything to me, especially to provoke me? And then in that moment, King says, yeah, well, there's trauma there. And then Dr. Greg is basically like, yeah, trauma that she told you about. Like, that's her side. And then here he goes, King, well, you tell me your side. I don't gotta tell you a damn thing. Like, when he said that to him, I was like, who does he think he is? Where I need to explain to you what happened in the marriage. That's over and done with, and you should move on.
I 100% agree. Once again, King's comments to Greg needed a smack. Because you cannot tell me I'm going to have anyone, especially my ex-wife, disrespect me on national TV, in public, in front of my current wife, friends, and I'm supposed to not say nothing and come to you? What if I do come to you? You're going to receive well? Probably not.
Exactly.
That was stupid. It was dumb.
And you did nothing and you did nothing in that moment of her provoking me. So that shows me you will never do nothing. So why would I even keep allowing this to happen when she's provoking me and you're not checking her? So guess what? I'm gonna have to check her. Or my woman gonna have to check her like we did.
And we're not friends. I don't want your number. How am I gonna tell you? That was another stupid thing. And he needs to basically tell Quad, you know what? After the scene, don't say nothing to this man. There's no reason. You're divorced. It's been years. Let it go. Do not moving forward on this trip. I don't want to hear you say nothing to this man. Because if you say something to him, I'm gonna check you. He needs to put his foot down. And supposedly, it seems like Quad now is putting her foot down, and she might be the one wearing the pants in a relationship at this point. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Coming at him, or you could, and then you talk about an apology, or you could have said, you know what, the comment you said, I didn't realize you said that's a Quad, but I found that it was very disrespectful. I didn't really appreciate it. I think you need to apologize to her for what she said. And maybe she needs to apologize for you for even saying what she said.
Yeah, that part. I don't even think there should be no apology. Just stay away from each other and let's move on. I don't even think anybody should. First of all, nobody's going to demand apology out of me, especially when we have no kids. They have no reason to deal with each other at all. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody should apologize to anybody. Just keep your mouth shut. I'll keep my mouth shut, and let's move on and get this money. That's it. That's the only thing that needs to be done. Like, as far as apologizing and thinking you forcing me. First of all, Dr. G is a whole doctor. And not only is he a doctor, he's a 60-year-old man. And you think this young buck, you think you're going to come to me and flex your muscles and tell me what I need and what I shouldn't do? Oh, he definitely overstepped his boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, and then his father, he definitely stepped. If anything, be like, look, you know what? I didn't hear what you said. It was disrespectful to Quad, but moving forward, don't say nothing to her. She won't say nothing to you.
Yeah.
That's it. But you can't, he was out of line. So somebody said a comment. Essence Beauty said Dr. Damon said the same thing, just differently. I'm not sure what he said, but I guess I agree.
Yeah, and I just think also it's like a lot of people in the comments from like when I see on social media, like they thought that was so attractive that King is sticking up for Quad, and that's what he should have done. And that's what a man is supposed to do. I just think it was the way he did it. Like, first of all, you approaching a 60-year-old man as a 40-something man, like somebody that's old enough to be your father. I don't think you get any props for that, like at all. Not only that, I just think it shows low intelligence, low emotional intelligence, where you can't even contain. You really want to get physical? Like, this man really want to get physical. Like, I just think there's a way he could have approached it, like you said. I think there's a sexy way to do it where you don't like taking off your shirt, wanting to fight somebody, you spoiling the whole moment, the whole day. Because now a man is fighting a man. Yeah. So it was like you just killed the whole day. Like the women fighting, they got that contained. They trying to like, they pulled each other away. That would have been over within seconds. But now the men, you actually getting physical, taking off your shirt, off your sunglasses, really for what? To fight a 60-year-old man? Well, did you really need to take the shirt off?
But well,
exactly. Off the show. Ego.
But the fighting part and the statement he made to Dr. G was stupid. The fighting part is, and again, coming from experience, could be due to all this crap that Quad is saying. If this man supposedly loves Quad, and Quad is saying, "Oh my God, this man did this to me. He did this. He did that." That dislike and wanting to F up somebody who did something to the women you love is there. That fight, that anger and that sprint and taking a shirt and wanting to fight him, which I don't know why he had to take a shirt. He could afford him with a shirt on.
Exactly. To me, that's ego.
It's more than what Dr. G said. Again, we haven't seen what Dr. G said to let that fight. I think that whole fight is a buildup of stuff that Quad has been telling him. This is what he told me. Oh, she told me all this stuff. So you got to think, if you're in a relationship with someone, oh, you did this to me, you did this, and she's still dealing with all that trauma, which obviously still is, you like, yo, if I could put my hands on this dude anytime, anywhere, I will.
I don't know.
I personally think that fight.
I don't want to deal with a man. To me, I just think there's a way at these big ages that we are. I just don't want to deal with a man, especially a man that's 40 years old and fighting a 60-year-old man. Like, even though Dr. G looks good for his age, to me, I don't want somebody that wants to get physical. Like, I want a man to be able to check another man flawlessly. Check him, let him know what time it is. But I don't want somebody taking off their shirt, throwing off your sunglasses, and ready to fight this man who's a doctor. He's not going to fight you back. He and not only is he a doctor, he is a MD of psychiatry. So it's like he has high emotional intelligence and he has way more to lose. That man is not going to fight you. So you're going to sit there fighting him, beating him up.
Well, let's hit Sachs first. Of course, he's going to fight back.
Who?
He's not going to hit back. Dr. G wouldn't hit back, but if Kim were to hit back, I'm sure Dr. G would have fought back.
I don't even know if he would have fought back because it seemed like he calling the cops now to get order protection or whatever he's doing. So it seemed like, I don't know if something hit him, whatever happened, but I know if I was Dr. G, I might have to get beat up on or whatever. I ain't losing my as a psychiatrist.
I'm not getting beat up.
I don't know. I'm not losing my check. I'm not losing my status. I just think to be a psychiatrist, you have to have high emotional intelligence. You actually helping people with their emotional intelligence. So for me to let go, and I know Dr. G has his moments, but to me to be rumbling with some wannabe thug, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know. And like he said, I think people are making fun of him because he called the cops or whatever. I would do the same thing. I'm calling the cops, especially if I'm an MD.
We don't know anything about King. So right now at this point, we only know what Quad is telling. He's a great man. He's this and that. We don't know if he has a hot temper. We don't know if he come from the hood. All we know is he's Jamaican and he's dating Quad. No one knows about this man. Nothing. So my whole thing is, depending on what Quad has been saying about Dr. G. Oh, who knows? If I can find somebody to F him up, you don't know what Quad has been telling this man for the year and a half or 2 years.
I don't care what he's telling him. You're not gonna be. I don't like a man doing that. Like, I'm sorry. I had a dude before. Like, when we went on a date, he approached. I remember we was going to the gym, and I went on I was going on a machine, and when I was getting ready to walk toward the machine, this other guy knew I was walking toward the machine, and he sat right in the arm lifting machine. And I'm with a dude that was our first date, and the way he approached him and let him know what time it is, in a stern voice, get up out of that chair, because you know she was going to that chair. Stop it. And I appreciate that. It's not like he could have yoked him up, get the F out the chair. But it was sexy to me the way he approached him. So then another time, on the flip side of that, I went to a barber on another date. The guy started fighting with security. He done got us thrown out the damn club. And it was all over something so stupid. He's ready to fight. It was something, I don't even remember. It was so stupid. So to me, that was such a turnoff to me. Like, yeah, he was ready to throw hands and fight, but you done got us thrown out the club for what? Over your low emotional intelligence. So I just don't want somebody fighting.
I agree with your two scenarios. However, we haven't seen no episode. We don't know. I can't say yet if he needed a run up on him. I don't know what Dr. G said. I don't know what he did. We don't know. It just ended that way. We do not know. I don't think Dr. G said anything warranted.
Okay, so what he said something. Okay, so you say something, you gonna punch somebody in the face because they say something you don't like?
No, I would not. I'm not at that age, but I don't know. And I'm just going by situations I've had in the past. Nothing like this. And being a woman like Quad, who probably puts a battery in his back any opportunity she possibly could have. Oh, Dr. G, I can't stand. He done this to me. He did this. He did. We don't know. We do not know what she has mentally done to this guy to dislike Dr. G to where he won't have him up. This is
yeah.
I know women do it. I know I've talked
badly. That's true.
I know I've talked badly about both of my exes to where my boyfriend don't like neither one of them. So if they're a trigger there anytime, I don't know what could possibly happen. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you as a woman or a man, and just like us, we could be in a relationship with a man and he's got, yo, she did this to me. She did this to my kids. She did. You totally don't like this individual.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what your ex has been telling you, or you see the trauma, or when you first started dating them and anything that happens, like, oh, because my ex, he used to physically hit me. You don't know. I said, oh, he used to mentally, verbally, and physically assault me. Really? Now you saying something? You've been beating on women, especially the women I love. Let me check this dude right now. This is a situation I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
King's been waiting to beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
So I gotta see how it plays out. I could be wrong, but I can't say did King handle himself properly. No, he did not. We had to see why he went violent. And I also had to think, what have Squad been saying to this man to get to the point where he wants to put hands on him? Did Dr. G really say something or he did not? And if Dr. G didn't say anything to put his hands on him, maybe he has temper issues, maybe he's a violent person, or Quad has embedded things in his head to where she's probably just said, oh man, if I get somebody to beat him up, I would have. I don't know. I'm not, right now I'm Team Greg, but I'm just wondering what led to this type of violent reaction. It was very like shades off, shirt up.
To me, it was like Heavy Bear said here, King was 50% emotional and 50% acting for the camera. I so agree, because to me that was all ego and to act like to put on. I think he didn't like how that last conversation with Dr. G ended. Dr. G got up in his face. He had the cigar looking like a whole daddy. Okay, a zaddy. Okay. And when he sat back down, it kind of blew over. And I just think King didn't sit well with him. So he wanted to revisit that and go in on him. And I think it was just an opportune moment in his mind. But I just think his emotional intelligence made him react and have a temper, explode, and get triggered, because Dr. G was basically letting him know, like, you ain't gonna control me. You ain't gonna tell me what I can and can't say. And I think that is what triggered King. We do know what you saying. We don't know what happened. We do know what happened.
And he also thought Dr. G was a punk, and figured, he's standing up to me.
Yeah, a 60-year-old man. I'm gonna beat him to a pulp. A 60-year-old man.
And he trying to play me on camera. And we know Jamaican men. They got egos. Nah, man, he gonna play me on television. My people in Jamaica watching this. Minute to represent. Minute to represent. So Essence Beauty also said, I agree. I think King and Letitia should not comment on their past marriage. Dr. G and Quatch are still triggered by one another. I agree. So I think going back with the King thing, I think it was all again for, let me show how tough I am. Because if you're about to fight somebody, you're not thinking about taking your shirt and your shades off.
Exactly.
You're not thinking.
And a beach shirt. It wasn't even like it was a crazy, like some kind of like
a coat.
Big shirt. Yeah, coat. You had on a beach shirt that was open.
You could afford him, and he's 60.
Exactly.
You gotta take your shirt off. If you're about to fight somebody and you want to get to them before producer,
you throwing hands and feet. Period. You ain't doing nothing else.
Sweetie, I'm sorry, like Sweetie. I'm starting
I like her.
I'm starting like her. I ain't like her. We need to bring her back. She sprinted. She didn't have time. I mean, she didn't have much to take off. She didn't have time to think of anything else. But my man's in a fight. I don't know. She was about to jump in, stop it, but she took off.
And Phaedra got on my nerves in that moment. First of all, ain't no woman. If my man's getting into it with somebody, don't you dare think I'm gonna stand right there. I may not jump into it, but first of all, for Phaedra to be even taking her away, where her back is turned to her man that's getting into a confrontation, I would. Oh, she would have got it. She would have. Now that's the time I would have had to put my hands on her.
I didn't see Phaedra stop. Phaedra's trying to stop Sweetie.
No, she basically they was getting into a confrontation, and then I think it was the basketball football player, whatever he is, said, somebody said to Phaedra, take her away, like let her, let the man talk. So then she took Sweet Tea away. Mm-hmm. They told Phaedra, whoever man told Phaedra, take Sweet Tea away, let the men talk. So then Phaedra took her away and turned her around, and they started walking in the opposite direction. And then as they started walking, they got further and further and further away. And at that moment, she's like, no, let them talk, let them. So this is what Phaedra's saying, let them talk, let them talk. So Sweet Tea kept looking back, like checking on him. I would have never walked away and turned my back on my man and getting into a confrontation. Well, that would have been a no-no.
I remember also Phaedra said, don't worry, Shaq is not gonna let anything happen. Remember Shaq?
Oh yeah, she did say that. Yeah, Shaq said that.
So Shaq could probably take on King. Like,
oh yeah, that's true, but I would never rely on a man. It's not like that's his homeboy that he grew up with. They just met. I don't think
they thought it was gonna get into violence. I don't think they thought it would be violent.
I would never turn my back on my man. And you telling me your man gonna be there because he ain't gonna let nothing happen. I would never trust your man that just met my man. I would just met my husband.
The thing is, maybe knowing the type of person that you have, if it was me and my boyfriend, I would have been there to like, all right, babe.
And I ain't turning my back. You ain't gonna turn me around and my husband's getting into a confrontation. You think you're gonna just turn me around and walk in the opposite direction and somebody's confronting my husband? There's no way I would turn my back.
I don't know if they knew it was gonna be a confrontation. I don't know if they knew.
They knew they was in each other's face, and then she kept looking. If I gotta keep looking back, I ain't going nowhere. Get your hands off me before I put my hands on you. Like that point, I would put my hands on her.
I would not have left either and walked away. I don't think they thought about it. But again, maybe you don't want to be in the male mess.
No, I ain't leaving my man. I'm telling you. But I guess Sweet Tea, she got led away. And then once she realized it was going down, the sprint she did, she was definitely a track star or some kind of
track.
Yeah, she had the one track, and she was in the military, so she probably has some. Yeah, so she's like trained.
And then wait a minute, I forgot she was in the military, and what's her face? Having this, she should go after. Sweetie got another thing coming. So it's Contessa. Contessa was in the military too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These people are highly trained, okay, and not just athletic. They are trained, military trained. So that's hardcore training. So to be approaching any of these women,
able to take out King and one of them neck moves and put him out. You never know. So I'm very curious to see her running. What did it entail? Jumping and fighting, jumping and stopping. I'm very much looking forward to next episode because I started liking Sweet Tea this episode. This is an episode I didn't like her last season. This episode, the episode of Quad, I liked her a little bit. This episode, I liked the fact that she didn't back down with Heavenly. She's in the military. This woman is trained to fight.
Exactly.
And I loved her in this episode. The fact that you run and you're like, hell no, either we both.
And then she kept looking back. I like that she kept looking back. Like, let me see what's going on with my husband. Don't you leading me away. I'm gonna try to see. But she couldn't even get her mind off her husband. And then once she saw it was getting out of control, that's when she took off. And I did appreciate that. Like I said, I wouldn't have been led away, but I get it. She's still young or whatever. I don't know if that's an excuse, but she got led away, but she didn't let that stop her from doing a sprint back to handle business with her husband.
But also remember, she's very upset and she probably wanted to calm down. So
if
getting in her ear, oh, let's walk away. She's probably like, okay, I need to really calm down. Maybe then nothing's gonna happen, and then when I calm down, I could go back. So I actually like her. I could say I didn't, but at least these 2 episodes, I like her.
Yeah.
I like her, and it shows me she actually cares about Dr. G. I mean, Quad running to King, I think it was like, oh my God, I don't want him to kill Dr. G, and he's making me look bad. I think with her sprint was a different sprint. I think Sweet Tea's sprint is, I'm jumping in and we both effing up King.
Yes.
Quad sprint was, let me stop King from killing Dr. G and also making me look back on this show. So that was it. And it says,
and I think she was thinking like me too, like really, like it doesn't have to come to throwing hands. It doesn't have to come to that.
So I'm really curious to see Quad's response to all this. I saw her on the Sherry show, and she kind of forecasted what was going to happen. Kind of like, oh, I'm going to be in the show, and, you know, my ex-husband said something disrespectful, and my man, King, he had to defend me. So she was kind of already prepping the audience to be on King's side. Watching the episode now, and the way my man, I don't think she's not going to defend. I don't think she's going to say King is wrong. I think she's going to stand by her man and said his reaction was warranted. So Bear said he just wanted to go after Dr. G agreed. Creole said, hey, beautiful black women, hey. And then Creole said, Sortie needs to stop. Isn't she doing IVF, running up on a man to fight? Girl, nobody think about no IVF when your man
exactly. My man getting into a fight. Exactly. My man getting into a fight. I'm not even thinking about no IVF. Girl, we all rumbling.
She's not pregnant. She ain't pregnant. If my man is in a brawl and I know he's gonna get beat down by the young buck, I'm throwing something. I'm doing something. Especially if I know he's gonna get beat up. And Creole saw Dr. Elmo voice Greg got chin checked by Dr. He did get chin checked. We don't know.
Listen, I'm all team. Let me just tell you, Creole. I don't know if you entered the chat late, but I am team Greg, okay? And right, yeah, he might got a little, I mean, what'd you say?
Me too. I'm team Greg, right? Dr. G right now.
Yes. And I just believe that he might have got chin checked. I don't know if he did, because it seemed like based on the Andy show afterwards, nothing connected. Like they didn't have no physical altercation. It seemed like it was broken up before anybody touched anybody. So I don't know if he was chin checked, but let's say he was chin checked. I'm not gonna chin check nobody back because I'm an MD. He's a psychiatrist too. I ain't rumbling with these wannabe thugs. Okay, I'm speaking for Greg, my man. Well, my man, and not that kind of way, but you know what I mean.
Heavenly said in her YouTube or whatever that there was some contact. She did say that's why.
Okay, and he did. Yeah, and exactly. Maybe there was. So if there was, I'm still team Greg on that. I don't want my man as an MD messing up our money, getting all in the papers, letting people know that he is stooping down to these other people's level, and not as, first of all, he got people on his couch. He's counseling people that have low emotional intelligence, and he's counseling these people, and you're out there fighting with these low emotional intelligent people. I don't want nobody messing up my business. You can chin check me and I'm gonna call the cops and I'm gonna ruin your life. I'm gonna ruin your business. So I think I agree with Greg on that part. I'm not letting nobody mess up my business and my livelihood.
I agree. You got to remember, Greg is a doctor who may have high profile clients. We don't know who we have. He's helping people's mental issues. He has high emotional intelligence. From what I know, King leases cars. That could be to anyone, even the elite, the ratchety crowds, kids any prom. No one is probably going to stop leasing cars because he was in a brawl. Let's be honest. Most people be like,
exactly.
Well, I don't want to go to a doctor that was fighting on the camera. I would lease a car. I would lease a car from somebody that had a fight. What the hell? Here's my money. Give me the car. But I'm not going to get counseling from someone who is violent. Because I'm
exactly.
Like, you can't control your own emotions. How are you going to help me with my
exactly.
violence? So this is why it's different. He has a profession. King has a business. Totally different. You see Dr. Evelyn for her ratchetness, she's still making a lot of money because she's a dentist. A ratchety dentist that fights, okay, it's my tea, but I'm not going to go to someone who is a psychiatrist.
Yes.
His profession as a doctor is totally different. I will go to a ratchety gynecologist
Yeah, exactly.
Who
Exactly.
cares?
A psychiatrist is on another level. When you got people and you got your own practice, you got people, that you got on your couch. I don't want that type of like energy if you can't control yourself. So to me, if let's say I did need help and I live in an area where Dr. G is a psychiatrist and I might need help with my life or whatever, that scene would probably make me, oh, okay, I would look, let me say, sidebar. Dr. G does have terrible reviews. I looked them up. So I don't know why, but he
Oh,
got like a 1 star, and it's like a lot of reviews in 1 star. So I don't know what's going on with his practice,
mm.
but he do got terrible reviews.
Oh wow.
So, but that scene, aside from the reviews, that scene will probably make me more inclined to go to him because now you let people know I'm an MD. I'm not rolling the mud with you thugs. So I did like him, and he let him know I'm an MD. Okay, get out of my face.
And Creole said Faye running to the airport for boy toy. I want to see why she went. She left. Huh? And then Creole said they both have a brand. Correct, but having a brand, there's levels to having a brand. There's
Exactly.
and that's Dr. G's brand is here. King is here. It doesn't even matter about money. It's a profession. He has a license. He went to school. He has clientele. It's a different brand. No, you know what I mean? Ratchety people go to that owns car dealerships, who owns leasings. He leases cars. I don't know what other businesses he has.
He's not losing business if he get into a brawl. Dr. G is
not.
more inclined. He's of a certain status where you cannot be, even if he wasn't a psychiatrist, but that even makes it more of a reason not to be brawling with people in the streets. But even if he wasn't, say he was a surgeon or something, to me, you have a high, like you classy, like you in a whole nother class. Like you can't be fighting with people in the streets that got nothing to lose. That man got nothing to lose. That 30, 40-year-old man that want to fight a 60-year-old man. You don't get no props for that. None.
You have no props for that. And you're fighting an old person to be a father. So anyway, that's how the scene ended. So Carol said, I see my psychiatrist raising his arms towards another black man. You about that thug life. I see my psychiatrist raising hands towards another. Raising his hands? Who?
She's basically saying, like, if she see a psychiatrist raising his hands, ready to put hands and feet on somebody, he about that life. I don't want that psychiatrist being about that life.
Because
I don't want to go to you because you can't help me.
Yeah, if I'm about that life and I'm trying to change, I don't want you. And if you about that life, what advice are you going to be giving me when I'm trying not to be in that life?
Yeah, what if I'm trying to kill somebody? What if I want to kill my husband and I'm coming to you? What you going to tell me that you can't control your temper? You would probably make me kill my husband.
Exactly. And not only that, we don't know about our psychiatrists. I have a therapist. She could be a thug for all I know.
But if you see her on TV, if you see her on TV fighting and throwing hands and feet, wouldn't you be like, what?
I'll be going to my session like, girl, I saw you on that Married to Medicine. I don't want to be dealing with somebody because I have my own thug life issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to deal with, like, calm me down because I'm about to do something crazy. But if I know I have a therapist who's as ghetto or as crazy, I don't want to deal with that. I want somebody who's professional, who's sign-minded, whose emotional intelligence is higher than mine, not the same level of my ghetto best.
Exactly.
So Dr. G is 60 years old, did push-ups. Well, that's true. That is true. But that doesn't mean he can fight King. King, he cannot. He cannot.
I think that's what got King activated when he saw, oh, this man can do all these push-ups. Oh, he's trying to show out, but I'm going to show him. I'm going to one-up him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the ego played a part. I mean, Quad wasn't there when he did the push-up. The men were, but he think he all that now. He could do push-up. He could do 25 with no problems. All right, I'm gonna show him right. I'm gonna show who's the real man right now. I'm gonna show who's tough.
Exactly.
So it was on ego too, running up, taking it. I'm like, damn, are those expensive shades? Because I know if I got good on shade, I ain't throwing my shades, taking my shirt off.
It's all for the camera. All for ego. That was all acting. He went right back and picked those sunglasses up and took that shirt up. That was just so like over the top acting. Like he did too much in that scene. I would have been turned off if that was my man. Like you're doing too much now. Like you're doing too much acting. Like I want you to be natural and throw hands naturally. But don't.
Exactly.
First of all, I don't want nobody throwing hands. But let's say if he did have to, like you doing too much where it didn't even seem natural.
First of all, when you want to fight somebody, you don't care what the hell you got on. I don't give a damn. When you're that upset and you about to throw hands, you're not thinking, oh, let me take my shirt. Let me take my shirt off. Let me run. You gave the producers and everybody too much time to stop you.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know. I'm going by the previews, but I remember him running, taking off shirts and taking off shades.
I don't think that stopped him. No, I don't think that like impeded him or like stopped him. I think that was all for show. Like, ooh, I'm gonna turn into like the Hulk and I'm gonna rip this off and I'm gonna do it for the camera. And I'm like, it was all to me, that was all like a Hulk type of movement. And he wanted people to see and he wanted to outshine Dr. G and let him know you do push-ups, but I'm gonna one up you. I'm turning to the Hulk and I'm gonna get Hulk on that ass.
That took too much damn time. I gotta see it again because all I remember is shirt and shades being taken off. I don't know if it was mid-run. I don't remember if he took it off and then ran. I gotta see it, and I can't wait for next episode. That's too much. If I want to fight somebody, I don't have time to be thinking about my shirt and my shades.
Maybe you do if you're trying to act. If you're thinking about it,
because you can't see it. But
before he did all of that, to me, he was replaying stuff in his head. To me, I do the same thing. We all do that. Like we replay stuff in our head, but we could have, should have did. But he was still in that moment. So he replayed it and he wanted to act it out. His ego was hurt and he wanted to do even more. He replayed it over in his head. And I think he wanted to, like, he overplayed it. He overplayed his hand.
He did too much. So Krill said, I love you, two sense of humor. Thank you. She said, activate Dr. Oh my God, Dr. Elmo voice Gregory. Krill said, this is Wakanda baby. Heavy Beer said he was a tad much. I agree. Krill said, understand assignment, get that. Krill also said, yeah, baby. And Krill also said, Black Panther. I mean, I don't know what Black Panther got to do in this episode, but power to the people, girl. It's Black History Month. Exactly. Don't be showing this episode. Hello, Bravo. It's Black History Month. Don't be showing our black men trying to fight.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
March, February, March, later on. This is Black History Month. Power to the people, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But I think that was it. That was a good almost 2 hour session discussion.
Yes.
I'm super excited to see the next episode. This is the best episode of the season. Married to Medicine is getting up there. We are not going to talk about Potomac, the reunion.
Yes, and the reunion look. So don't go nowhere. Yes, sign on to our next live.
Stay. Let's talk about the reunion looks. Let's talk about the reunion yesterday, what happened. So join us soon. We'll be back to talk about Housewives of Potomac.
Wait, let me find out Creole went to jail. Let me find out you throwing hands and feet and putting the paws on people.
Everything in my head when I went to jail. Girl, you went to jail? You right there with King. Well, you about that thug life, girl. You about that thug life. I mean, she said New York. Oh, New York City right here. Brooklyn.
New York is in the building, baby. Okay, Harlem.
I never went to jail, but Brooklyn. We all know about the thug life. But again, let's elevate ourselves. And again, we know King is Jamaican, but we don't know what else. So let's talk about Karen. She said, yes, I did. Oh, she said, yes, she did, girl. Thank you for being in the chat. Yes, the Grand Dame. Come back. We're going to talk about the Grand Dame. We're going to talk about Karen. Yes. The Grand Dame, Karen. We're going to talk about all the looks, everything about Potomac. I knew it, ladies. All right. Join us back in a few minutes. All right. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Toodles.
We'll be back soon.